Oh, hey everybody. I am out for a random walk in this lovely weather we're finally getting here in Phoenix. And it is 54 degrees outside. You can hear the cars going by. And I figured I'd do something a little bit different for this random chazziness video. And that is to take a random chazzy walk. Haven't done a walk since last winter because, you don't take walks in the summer in Phoenix unless you want to die of heat stroke. I mean, unless you properly hydrate. So, that's a thing. Which you can do, but sometimes it's just so hot you don't want to go out, So I decided to take this nice random walk. Got my jacket on, my hat, all the good things to keep warm. And you may be thinking, oh, Chaz, 54 degrees. That's nothing compared to where I live. Well, 54 degrees in Phoenix is cold. We've actually been in the 40s. It was in the 40s early this morning. But today it's kind of warmed up and we're just enjoying a nice stroll in rather chilly weather, but not super cold. So you may have seen on the thumbnail that I've got various topics to talk about, one of which is moving. I am moving next summer, not overseas. Just locally here in the United States. And I'm sure I've got lots of friends overseas that would love to see me move there and visit. But I'm just staying in the States. Not going to Canada either. Just staying in the States. But I am moving to a completely different city. My partner and I are moving to Washington State. And we will be doing that sometime next summer. We haven't solidified a date yet. But, hear those birds? Don't you love this kind of weather? We decided to move to Washington State. We are pretty settled on moving to Vancouver, which is literally 20 minutes from Portland. Depending on traffic, Portland, Oregon. So we'll kind of get the best of both worlds. We can visit Oregon when we want to. And we can live in Vancouver and enjoy some nice seasons. There are various reasons why we're moving. But weather is definitely a part of it. We miss the seasons. And it will be interesting because even though my job is completely remote, they require you to work in a hub city in order to keep your job. And Washington's not a hub city. They may make exceptions, or a hub state, a hub state. Washington is not a hub state. They may make exceptions, but for right now, I may be looking for work. My partner can pretty much get a job anywhere in her industry. She's a therapist. So anyway, so that is the big announcement for this random chazziness video. If you live in Washington State, let me know. And, maybe we could do a booktuber meetup. I know of a couple of booktubers that live in Washington State. But, that's the big news from me. And so I do have a couple of other topics that I want to talk about just briefly here. One of which was the new job. I already checked that off the list. Or potential new job, right? I've got skills, so, video editing skills, content creation skills. I considered doing voiceover work. I've been told I have a pretty good voice for possibly doing audiobooks or things like that, so we'll see. There's options. I'm not stressing out too much about it right now, even though I am putting my feelers out. So that's something I'm looking at. Let's talk about my writing. My writing has kind of taken a stagnation point, but I have narrowed my 2 projects down and decided which one I'm going to focus on. And that is a novella that I'm currently working on. I've mentioned it before. You've heard me call it Dreamer. And that's all I'm codenaming it right now. And more to come on that. But it is going to be a novella. And I don't know how I'm going to go about selling that. I don't know if I'm going to do a print version. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. But first, get the writing of it done. I was stuck on it for quite a while because I couldn't quite get past a certain point, and that was narrowing down the villain and how I was going to write this story with a sense of plot progression and things like that. Who is the adversary in this story? That's kind of what I was struggling with, because it's a very different story. But I finally figured out where I want to go with it, and now I feel like I can sit down and finish it up. And I have done some writing on it, but not a whole lot. So we shall see how it turns out. Well, let's see here. Kickstarter. I am thinking of doing a Kickstarter next year for a hardcover of Talendor's Guest, my first book. And I got a book that was recommended to me called Kickstarter for Authors. It came highly recommended, actually, by a friend of mine who just had a successful Kickstarter for her book. And so I picked up the book. I'll pop a copy of it here on the screen if you want to see it during post-edit. But yeah, ooh, this is some nice shade, huh? Ooh, I love this tree. This tree, look at this tree behind me. Oh my goodness, guys. Anyway, yeah, so I got that book. I'm going to be reading it, kind of figuring out, because doing a book on Kickstarter is completely new to me. Like, I'm a complete noob when it comes to crowdfunding. So, yeah, wanted to take a little breather there. Yeah, so I think that I'm definitely going to be doing it. I just need to narrow down how I want to do it, what perks I want to offer. And you guys tell me in the comments what you would like to see for a hardcover of my book, because I am going to do a special edition tier as well with sprayed edges and all that good stuff. That's the plan. But I've been wanting to do a hardcover of my book for a while, and I just haven't had the finances or really the solid plan to make it happen. But now I do. I kind of have a goal in mind for what I want to do. So that is going to be good, I think. And if you guys are excited about that Kickstarter, let me know. Audiobook. It is high time that I get an audiobook released for Talendor's Guest. Eventually, I will release an audiobook for the Nomad's Crucible as well. But for now, I'm just going to focus on Talendor's Guest, get that squared away. And I had planned to do it with the Apple AirPods Pro 2 because they recently released a firmware update that allows you to do studio quality recording. But the more I played around with it, I realize I'm not really cut out for earbuds at all, let alone the AirPods Pro. My ears just don't breathe well when stuff is stuck in them. And I figured, well, I might as well just go ahead and get some equipment for a home recording studio, especially if I'm thinking about in the future maybe doing voiceover work or other audiobooks besides my own. So I've been putting together a list of equipment that I might want to get. And it's probably not going to happen until after the move, maybe. So I probably won't start recording my audiobook until next year. But it may be out just in time for the Kickstarter, and I could offer a Kickstarter tier. Who knows? We shall see. So that's all on the audiobook front. Let's see here. I recently did a video that I'd done in the past, and it was called a book review blast, where I did 4 different books and reviewed them, just short review. And that seemed to go well. Maybe. The algorithm's weird right now on YouTube, so, but it seemed to go well for what it did. And then I took one of those short reviews and released it as a YouTube short, and that did really well, like 1,300 plus views so far, which is really good for me for anything. And I'm probably going to do the others as a YouTube short as well, release them as shorts. That was my intention this time around behind the book review blast. So yeah, that's the plan going forward for books that are short or books that I don't really have a whole lot to say about. I'll probably add them to a book review blast. You guys will have to let me know what you think. And I think I am going to cross the street here into some shade. There is a nice school behind me with a park area, and there's a nice line of trees here that provides some shade, which it's not super hot out, but you know, I've been walking in the sun for a little bit, and that warmed me up a bit. So it's nice to be here in the shade. Yeah, you can kind of see behind me the school there, and yeah. And of course, I'm recording this on Saturday, so it's, you know, school's not in session. I'm not recording any kids or anything, so. Anyway, so that about wraps it up for all the random chazzy things that I wanted to talk about. There was one interesting thing that happened this week, and I think it's new for YouTube. They released a recap for 2025, kind of like Spotify. Oh, I can't remember the Spotify thing that Spotify Wrapped, I think it is. Yeah, Spotify Wrapped. So similar to that, but you know, showing you all the videos you watched and all the things you got up to. And I thought it was kind of interesting, some of the ways that YouTube actually knows me really well. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things here. There are 3 sides of me that YouTube pointed out. One is bookish, which, I mean, duh. Tech savvy, which, yeah, I'm fairly tech savvy. Like, I don't know a whole lot about certain kinds of tech, but I follow a lot of tech savvy channels and keep up with all the latest tech. So it's kind of cool, which does get me in trouble if I suddenly want the things that I'm seeing in videos and, you know, don't have the money for it. But, you know, I'm good with my money. I I eventually realized, oh, I don't really need that. But I am tech savvy. And it also said I'm resourceful. And that was interesting. I guess I'm resourceful. Like, I make use of things that are within my grasp and try to do things a little bit differently. Hence this video, right? So I guess on occasion I'm resourceful. So that was kind of cool. So my label from YouTube is The Dreamer. And it says you're drawn to content that fuels your imagination. You've watched Marvel movie news and tiny house tours, proving you love to imagine new possibilities. And yes, that's true. I am kind of a futurist, and I look towards the future and possibilities, and so yeah, that's kind of true about me. And then they call it a YouTube award. I don't know why it's called an award, but it says most likely to find the perfect cozy book and a cup of tea for a relaxing evening. And yes, that totally is me. I don't know that that's really a YouTube award as much as it is a label. Or YouTube knowing the kind of person I am. So it's cool. I thought that was interesting. Let me know if you guys got your YouTube recaps and how accurate were they? How well did they fit you? I would love to know. And I think I am going to end the video here. I hope you guys are having an amazing start to your fall season and winter season or whatever have you. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you've enjoyed a random walk while I talk about all the random things. And make sure you read more books. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye.